Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of the Fly Eagles show. My name is Dan. I'm the host, and I have my co-host with me, Brandon. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hey, how you guys doing? I'm Brandon Harbaugh, Hershey, Pennsylvania, sweetest place on earth. In case you never known, by day, I'm involved in the markets. By night, it's full out Eagles. So fly Eagles, fly. Let's go.
Nice, nice. I'm down here in beautiful North Carolina. I grew up right outside of Philadelphia, a little tiny town called Prospect Park. We were about 4 miles outside of South Philly. I remember going to the games for, geez, as long as I can remember, it was all Eagles focused. Some of my first memories were going to Vet Stadium and never had good seats. We were always in nosebleed, but it was still fantastic. The memories are just phenomenal.
I
So
never, I never got to make it to the Vet Stadium. So,
no,
but I wanted to. But it's all good. Lincoln Financial.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So this episode, I really want to focus on the game tonight. We're playing Dallas. It's the first game back after, of course, winning the Super Bowl, and expectations. What are we as a team going to hold ourselves to? What are we expecting Dallas to come out with? Basically what's going to happen tonight. Like I said, I feel that this season, after the high of last season, I don't feel as worried about it. In other words, I mean, we're the Super Bowl champs. Everyone's going to be gunning for us. Dallas is going to be gunning for us. Every team we play wants to knock off the best. But that being said, we're still the best team in the league. So Dallas has got their work cut out for them for sure. What are your thoughts on kind of what you expect tonight?
Man, first and foremost, I'm expecting a grand slam victory. That's my dream. However, with realistic expectations, though, I do think we're going to get the win. I think Coach Sirianni held the fort down a lot with not letting some of the newer folks and the younger guys really tie into the celebration of the Super Bowl last year. So I really feel like they're really dialed in.
Sure.
Unfortunately, for some reason, every time we play Dallas, it's like they're 99 rated when they play us, and I'm like, dude, they are not this good. I don't know what's happening. I think there's going to be a lot of excitement, maybe a little bit of jittering between the players, and I think that we may start off just a hair slow. I don't want this. I could see us starting off slow and then progressing and kind of just holding down what we do best, grinding out. And this year we got Barkley. We got a good running back room. I'm excited to see Shipley. I think Dylan's going to be a huge piece.
Oh yeah.
However, I'm hoping they go the alternate route and come out throwing some slants and getting the passing game wide open just to be able to run the ball in the second half. But in the end, my score prediction, I think we'll see a 31 or 34 Eagles and 17 or 21 Dallas. So
Okay. All right. I'm a little superstitious, so I think me and my daughter are probably the same way. I don't want to make predictions. I'm hoping for the best, of course, because I that's just me. I'm super positive, but I don't want to say I can't put a number to it personally. But I also know, I know what the Eagles are capable of, and it really depends on who comes out the gate. I mean, crap, we beat Kansas City with our we stomped them and put our backups in. So anything is possible. It all depends on which Eagles team shows up for the game. But I'm very optimistic on it. You know,
absolutely, absolutely.
one of a couple things that we're going to talk about too is rivalry. How the Eagles and Dallas rivalry started. You know, it was funny. I lived in Texas. I moved basically from Philly to Texas, and that was when Dallas was starting to win. That was back in the '90s. Man, they were so arrogant. Most arrogant fan base, most arrogant team. Just the nerve to name yourself America's team. I mean, who does that? You're in Dallas. If anyone's America's team, it's Philly. I mean, that's
That's
where the
right.
country kind of got its start.
That's right.
So it was so bad. I mean, the fans were just, it was over the top, and I mean, I could have let a lot of stuff go, but that really put me off. So I don't know. I mean, that's just I guess I learned to expect it from them. And every season they think they're going to the Super Bowl. So, I guess you got to love their optimism, but you would think after 30 years maybe you learn your lesson a little bit. But I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So I want to bring in our guest. This is my daughter Mackenzie. She is a huge Eagles fan. We've been going to the game since she was a little girl. So I want to bring her in, talk a little bit more about the team, talk a little bit more about her experiences, what she's seen with the game and with the team, and how she's kind of grown as an Eagles fan. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and bring her in.
Yeah. Oh, hi.
Hey,
Hey,
Mackenzie.
welcome, welcome.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
So welcome to the show. I want to get what I just said is I want to learn a little bit more about how you became an Eagles fan, and maybe share some of your first memories of just the team, going to the games, watching some of the first games, some of the highs and lows that you've experienced as a fan. I've had the pleasure of getting to experience some of those with you, so I'd like to just hear in your own words kind of what you've experienced.
Okay. Well, I would say my reason for being an Eagles fan is from you. I remember you used to watch all the games at home, and I wanted to be included in that experience, so I made myself included, even if you had to spend a couple of games teaching me everything. I know that probably wasn't super fun. But I would think I was in like middle school, so and that was when we were not good. So I remember showing up to school wearing my Eagles stuff, and everyone would say how bad the Eagles were, and all my friends. So now it's just a totally different experience being older now and actually being good is kind of crazy to
Hmm.
me. Um, yeah, my first game was the year after we won the Super Bowl. So that was really fun. You didn't want to take me before then, I guess, so I never got to go before that. Um, but I've been to a couple now. I think my favorite memory was when we went to the Commanders game at their stadium, and when the Eagles came out, the whole stadium cheered, and when the Commanders came out at their home stadium, they were booed, and it was just an insane, like it was like a home game at their stadium. We were surrounded by Eagles fans. That was just crazy to witness. Like I know everyone says Eagles take over every stadium they go to, but to witness that was insane.
Hmm.
And the playoff game. We actually went to a playoff game this year. We went to the first round of playoffs. That game was a close game, so that was a little bit nerve wracking because we did not have our best performance. It was Hurt's first game back after being injured. So that was a little bit of nerves, but it was our first time tailgating. We met a lot of amazing people who are in the Eagles group that welcomed us, and to like witness a playoff win is like a once in a lifetime experience. A
Hmm.
playoff win that you go on to win a Super Bowl. Like not many people can say that they got to see that. So that was awesome.
That is true.
Hey, that's awesome. After you were done talking, I was going to say, I mean, with Dan being your father, did you even have a choice being an Eagles fan or not? You know, so my daughter was
No.
actually born. She was actually born the in November, and when we won our Super Bowl with Foles the following year, I was like, look, I manifest. I said, just give us one Super Bowl this year, and I don't need another one for the rest of my lifetime. But I took that manifestation back. Give us like five more. You know what I mean? So I was like,
Yeah.
the kids coming into the family, you really don't have a choice. You know, it's like as the father, we set the tone, and that's awesome. So hey,
Hmm.
go Birds!
Yeah. I wouldn't want a choice. I'm happy with my team that was assigned to me.
Absolutely.
I remember going to that Washington game, and it was crazy. When the Eagles came out, they cheered. And this is in Washington. When Washington came out, they actually booed, the Eagles fans booed Washington over the cheers. So it actually sounded like a home game for the Eagles. That was crazy.
I would be so mad if I was a Commanders
Oh my
fan
God, could
witnessing
you
that. I
imagine?
would be livid.
Jeez. I mean, talk about taking over a stadium. That was crazy.
It's like a punch in the face. You know, it's
Yeah,
like this is our
yeah,
home, and they're booing us. You know,
And we crushed them too. So
we did. That was
makes it that
nice.
much better.
And then for the playoff game, we got to go tailgating before with one of our ex mods in the Eagles group. That was fantastic. So getting to hang out with those guys, and we Yeah, that was great. We went live at the tailgating, and for those that don't know, we run an Eagles group that has close to 400,000 fans, where it's the world's largest Eagles fan group out there. So getting to share that experience with them was really nice. I mean, I really enjoyed that.
And
So
also to piggyback off it, it's about 400,000 real fans because we do a great job moderating. And if you're not an
yes,
Eagles fan, you're getting a boot. See ya.
yep. So
Eagles only.
all the fake profiles and all that are gone. I mean, best mod team out there for sure. So I'd like to talk, since we're playing Dallas tonight, I'd like to get your perspectives on what is, in my mind, Dallas and Eagles are the number one rivalry in the NFL. I mean, that's just been my experience. I'd like to kind of get your take on that, and get some. What do you think about the rivalry? Is it, how do you feel like maybe it got started? Does it motivate the team to play better? What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Mackenzie, you can go first. I don't want to give you my biased opinion.
Yeah.
I think that people find Eagles fans really annoying and they find Dallas fans really annoying. And I feel like the rivalry got so big because people kind of universally agreed that we were like a little bit crazy and Dallas fans are a little bit annoying. So then when they come together, it's just a mix of like passion and people being like, I don't know, I don't want to be like rude. So that's all that I'll say. I'm not gonna sit here and like trash talk them. But I mean, every Eagles fan has their opinion, and every Dallas fan has their opinion on Eagles fans. So that'll be my like nice answer. I'm sure yours is very different than mine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So for me, I mean, I started in the 90s. Unfortunately, Dallas was great. And what bothered me is that crazy star. They're like, oh, we're America's number one team. We got the star. And I'm like, dude, it makes me sick.
Yeah.
In my family, a lot of them are Cowgirls fans, I like to say. And I was like, look, when I saw the bird, the eagle, it was one of my favorite animals, right?
Hmm.
As a kid, and I love green, and I'm like, well, since you guys are cheering for the Cowgirls, I'm going for the Eagles, and I like the Eagles when they weren't good at all. So I really think the rivalry really starts like back when they were so great with like the Troy Aikman and Emmett
Sure.
Smith, and sure they had great players along the time, and I think we were just unfortunate to not have good drafts and whatever it was, and at that time maybe people didn't want to come to Philly, and I think us Philly fans. I feel like we do get thrown under the bus as being one of the craziest fan bases, and it's kind of unfair. So, as we're on the podcast, I like to speak out for all of Eagles Nation. I mean, think of it like this: if you go to a different team stadium and you taunt them, something's definitely going to be happening to you, whether you're taunted back or something. You know what I mean? And an experience I had one time was when I was at an Eagles game. We were playing Cam Newton and the Panthers, and there was a dude that was a Panther stadium. And think about this: we have 50,000 Eagles fans. What in your right mind would want you to go after you're done drinking colored water, of course? Go in front of all these Eagles fans and yell like "Eagles suck" and do their Cam Newton Superman thing or whatever. And I'm like, bro, there's a time and a place, and stick to it at your stadium. However, we get showcased on the news as we're the bad fans. So it's like we're not bad people. Just be intelligent with kind of what you're doing. Because if I'd go down to the Miami Dolphins and I would say, F this or do that, and something's going to happen, whether I'm verbally or someone's taunting me. Like, that's how I feel. So coming back to the rivalry, when they play, it's just like, I think Dallas always brings their A game against us, and I can't stand it, which puts me over the edge of why I really can't stand them either, because they're not a great team, and when they play us, it's like they're a Super Bowl caliber team, and I can't stand it. So I think it started, like I said, back then when they were really good and we weren't, and now the tables have turned. And like you said, Mackenzie, I think they're passionate about their team. We're passionate about ours. We're in a division, and I just think that's where the clash goes. Unfortunately
Sure.
for the Giants and the Redskins, they really are never good. And if they are good, it's like they have a lucky season, and then they go back down to the bottom. Where it's like I always feel like the Cowboys and Eagles are always middle of the pack or higher. At least from me watching them since the '90s. And that's just my take. So it's just competitive. They always bring their A game. And with that being said, I'm gonna speak it. Go Birds! We're gonna get the win today. You know what I'm saying? Let's
Nice.
go.
Yeah, so I grew up different. So I grew up during the 70s, and for me, that was back when the Eagles were bottom of the pack. So I really appreciate all these the winning seasons, the Super Bowl. I think because I don't want to say I feel like I suffered because that's not really the right thing, but I went through that era, so I got to see them at their worst, and that was when Dallas also was dominating the Eagles. So for me, that rivalry came just from part of that. It was always we were always the blue collar team. They're the white collar team. We were, we're passionate. They're all about the business and about the money, and it had a whole different perspective for me. So I just got to see, I guess I would say, just a different aspect of it. I also lived in Dallas for 25 years. So living in Dallas and seeing the fans and everything is about, Jerry's Palace, and it was all about the money. I mean, it was crazy the amount of money that you need to have to be a Dallas fan. So I don't understand the whole America's team crap because that was just marketing. I mean, just the fact they're in our division. They're in Dallas, but they're in a division with Philly, New York, and Washington. Makes no sense at all. That was solely for the money. He wanted to be in the big market area so that way he could capitalize on the money. So to me, there's no redeeming qualities that I like about Dallas at all. My best friend is a Dallas fan. I took him to an Eagles game, and that was interesting. We're extremely passionate fan base, and he caught a lot of crap for wearing his jersey to an Eagles game. And I was like, that's fine. You can wear it in the stadium. We go out of the stadium. You need to take that off.
Yeah.
Let's be smart here. It's Philly's a tough city for sure. So that's kind of my recollection of the rivalry. So I don't know where it started from. To me, it goes back a while, and I don't know the whole root of it, but I'm sure there's probably more to it than what we're talking about for sure. So, what are your guys' thoughts on, I guess, this season? I mean, I'm not going to make predictions. I feel like we still have 95% of our team in place from last year. Do you feel that do you feel it's going to be a different emotional roller coaster this year than it was last year? What's your guys' thoughts?
We'll let Mackenzie go first.
Um, I don't know. I don't like to speak on it too much because it just makes me nervous. Like I don't want to like be super cocky going into it. Like, oh, I want to be positive, but at the same time, I feel like I need to see how it goes. I mean, we went from being in the Super Bowl and then we kind of fell off for 2 years and then come back and just win it all. So I feel like every season is different. I obviously have high expectations because of last season, but I don't want to like I feel like I would be jinxing it for me to sit here
Sure.
and be like, "Oh, we're going to win it all again." I obviously have that mindset and that's how I'm going to act and talk, but I want to be like that's all I want to say for now.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna speak up for us then. Super Bowl or bust. You know what I'm saying? No. So, of course, the expectations. I would love the second Super Bowl, and do I honestly think it's possible? I absolutely do. However, with that being said, I think injuries and health to our team is a huge part. So there's certain things that we could never really predict or determine if something would happen. I mean, I want protection over the whole team for sure. If we can stay healthy, I do believe that we have the roster to be competitive and compete for the
Sure.
coming years. You got Howie Houdini. He locks in half of our offense until 28 or something, 27, 28, 29, which is crazy. But hey, hats off or props to you, Howie. We appreciate you. So coming into this season, our schedule is a lot harder than last year. So you have some people that, of course, we want to go undefeated and win the Super Bowl. But realistically, I mean, if we could pull off 11 or 12 wins this year, I am totally okay with that because I just want us to get to the playoffs healthy. And for us to get to 11 or 12 wins, even if that means we don't win the division, which I 100% want to do, I think the Super Bowl title is a lot more important than specifically winning the division. I do believe we're going to get in as a division winner, because I don't think the NFC East had two division winners back to back for quite some time. So
Well,
I
they
think
haven't.
we're fully capable of doing that this year. However, like I said, it just goes down to the injuries. If we can keep our team intact with Nick being the leader and Big Dom, I highly believe that we can do it. But as far as the nail biters and all that, I don't like Mackenzie said. I don't want to speak on her jinx on that because
Sure.
for some reason they tend to give us a gray hairs from time to time. So we're going to get to the playoffs. I believe that. And that's the best thing that we can really do because once you're in the playoffs, I mean, truthfully, any team is capable of making it to the Super Bowl. It's just about getting hot and staying healthy at that right time. If it was
Sure.
up to
Of
me,
course.
I would focus on passing first and not run Barkley 25 times a game. He'd be running it 10 to 12 times, and I'd sprinkle in Shipley and Dillon. And then come playoff times, then he could touch it 25 times a game and just run
Nice.
it down. So that's
Absolutely.
my take on it.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I feel like if we get 10 wins out of this season and get into the playoffs, then anything's possible at that point. I would love to break that curse of going back to back and winning the NFC East. So that would be nice. All right, well, let's go ahead and we can wrap up this episode. And I think we covered some great points. So I'd like to close us out by saying thank you guys for helping us film this episode, and I'm extremely looking forward to the game tonight. And I want to say go Birds.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to my one Cowboys fan, and I just want to say go Birds, and you will see.
Hey,
That's
I
what I want
love
to
it.
say.
I love it. And hey, I want to say, Mackenzie, appreciate you for coming in and hopping on the show. We loved your perspective and energy that you brought. And in the future, if you ever want to come back, just let us know. We would gladly have you back. So, with that being said, if you're rooting for the Cowboys, boo. All right, go Birds, fly Eagles, fly. Let's get the win, and I'll see you guys tonight.
All
Appreciate
right,
it,
guys,
man.
don't forget to like and share and subscribe to our podcast. Go Birds.
Go Birds.